Welcome to the Tim Dillon Show, everybody. Special episode today. We rarely do guests, but we're having this guy on.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, no, it's fucking great to have you here.
Yeah,
we're an odd pair, me and you.
I know, people wouldn't think, really.
People wouldn't think. People would look at me and look at you. It looks like it's like a Big Brother program where I'm like trying to...
Yeah, you're trying to like mentor me and like show me the right path.
Trying to help you out, except you have so much more money than I do and more fame, you know?
Probably not.
Yeah, I'm like, you should go this way. And you're like, no, actually, you should relax and do what I do. You should get a face tattoo, Tim.
Yeah, you should.
How many? I'm thinking about getting a tat for the first time in my life.
Oh, you don't have any tattoos?
I don't have any tattoos.
Oh, wow. What are you going to get?
I don't know. Because we're doing this crazy tour, me and my opener, Dan, and we're all over it's a weird time to do comedy because
it's a weird time to do anything, I feel like.
Weird time to do anything. And like, we're thinking about, maybe getting something to just commemorate this crazy fucking little tour that we're doing. And then like, because we do it, we end in mid-November. So we have we go through the run up to the election, and then a few weeks after the election. We just fucking don't know what it's going to be like to get up in front of a room full of drunk people.
Oh, man.
When shit's wild.
Yeah, I wonder what is that like? I mean, you have a lot of experience. You've probably already done that.
Yeah, I've never done, I've been doing it the last couple of weeks, and people are tense.
Are tense right now?
They're tense right now because they haven't left their houses.
Yeah.
And they're
come out to the comedy.
Come out to the comedy club. But this is like they're just going out again, and everybody's got real strong feelings about the election. My audience is really divided. So I got people that are like, Trump's got to win again. And then I got people that are like, Trump's the devil. And then I put them in a room, and then I pour alcohol on them.
Oh, my God.
And then I try to make them all laugh for an hour and get away with my life.
Is there any crazier cities that you've been to more than others?
I think Phoenix, Arizona was drunk.
They were drunk as hell.
They were drunk and they were partying, and they don't think COVID's real at all.
So no mask wearing.
They don't They were coming afterwards trying to do a meet and greets after the show, and I'm like, dude, it looks bad.
They're just trying to make a meet and greet,
they were trying to just grab me, and they're like, come on, and I'm like. And it was fun, but I mean, it's it looks bad. Yeah. God forbid I get sick or they get sick. Then the
internet will go. The internet tries to cancel you if you aren't safe with anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah. You've gone through that a lot. You've gone through. Why do you think you're so controversial? People.
Well, I think the most part, my name, Lil Xan, just coming onto the scene, it was just already.
What is the name? Explain the name.
Well, back in Austin, Texas, what year was that? 2016. I was just crazy off Xanax. I was trying to be a photographer. My camera had just gotten stolen, and I remember we were on Main Street or something. I just walked into the liquor store, and my friend was like, "Man, you're always high off Xanax. I'm gonna call you Lil Xan." I didn't think anything of it. I was like, "That's stupid but funny."
Right, that's fun.
It's just stupid.
That's a fun development.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And then from there on, I wasn't even thinking about making music, but all my friends made music. So I got back to LA.
Thinking about Xanax.
Yeah, I was only Xanax. You know what I mean? Right. And then I got back to LA, and I was like, well, just all my friends make music. Let's see what happens. And just from there on, the controversy followed.
Yeah. Do you feel like a lot of young people follow you?
Definitely, a lot of young female audience for the most part.
Yeah, that is not this demo of this show. I'll tell you right
That's
now.
That's what makes this crazy.
Yeah, this is not weird. This is not a 19-year-old girl show. The women who come to my live shows have all been to prison. That's the type of woman the woman that can listen to this voice for hours on end.
They love you though. Probably.
Yeah, they do like me. They do like me. They do. Yeah. So, do you feel like your responsibility to live a certain way because you're all these people?
Oh yeah, definitely. More and less recently, I had a little hospital scare about 5-6 months ago. I was sent to the hospital. I was trying to just quit everything cold turkey, Oxycontin and Xanax mainly. But I had 5 seizures, and in one day, 5 seizures, and it put me in the hospital for a couple weeks, and then I got out, and I just stayed clean because I was like, bro, this is gonna kill me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've always tried to be a good role model against an advocate for not taking drugs. I was never like, yo, you gotta be like me, and I was just letting people know that we go through this struggle. You're not alone. And I just recently come off it, and this is the best I felt in my whole life,
Yeah, you look great.
Oh, thank you.
You look like you feel like you're living fucking life.
It's like its own type of high, actually, just be this coherent, you know what I mean? If we would have done this podcast a year and a half ago,
you would have been sleeping.
I would have been asleep.
I would have been yelling, and you would have just been asleep.
Yeah, I would have been
right
here, just
yeah. But now, what do you feel like? Is that better for creativity to be sober?
I'm not I'm not gonna argue against like drugs. Like they do help some sort of aspect of creativity. But you could be just as creative without drugs. You know what I mean? You just got to find inspiration and find like a good balance, and you could be just as creative.
Why are there, why, like, I'm sure I know the answer, because comedy, there was so many drugs, and now there's not as many because so many people died, you know? Like, we had Greg Giraldo, and, you know, all these people that died. I mean, you go back, and there's a litany of people that have died from drugs and being unhealthy and stuff. What do you think, like a lot of the tragic deaths, whether it's Lil Peep or Mac Miller, do you think they're making people really kind of think about how they're living? Because these guys are so talented, they have so much potential. Is this making people think about stuff?
I think it's definitely showing people, you know, the repercussions and what you know, what can happen. You know, it's a shame that we lost Mac and Peep and all them, such talented like fucking artists, dude,
and young kids,
and young too. You know what I mean? Just so much potential. Yeah, I think it's definitely. But if you go back in time, this is always young people have always been dying of drugs. You know what I mean? Like in the limelight is what I'm saying. I think it is making people a little more aware. But man, when you fall down that rabbit hole of addicted to drugs and stuff, bro, it's hard to get out.
It's tough. Yeah, I mean, I was an addict for 10 years. So I started doing coke at 13.
Oh shit, yeah.
So yeah, I was bad. It was bad from 13 to 25.
Okay.
And on and off cocaine, booze.
How did you manage to get off of it?
I started doing stand-up when I was 25. I bought a house when I was like 22, coked out of my skull. I got a subprime mortgage. I bought a $600,000 house. The house was worth maybe $350.
Yeah.
And I mortgaged $600,000 because it was back in the days when you could do that. And I was just, every night, I was just drinking every night, coke, you know, drowning in debt. And, but I would tell people about it and they'd be laughing. And I'd be like, I'm saying the worst stuff. And they would just laugh. They're like, this is really funny. And I'm like, I'm literally going to die. And they were like, this is really funny. And then I just was like, oh, I want to maybe start making people laugh. And then I just started doing that at 25 and I sobered up. And I've been sober. I'm 35 now. It's about a decade.
So how was the sobering up process?
It was tough, but I did transfer addictions, right?
Yeah.
So like from drugs to comedy, like I did transfer it.
Yeah.
So instead of doing drugs, I would do comedy 3 or 4 times a night. Like that was what some people transfer.
So it took your mind off of it.
Took my mind.
Yeah.
Some people, like I had a friend got sober, went into fitness.
Yeah, that's another great.
I did not do that, but he did that. He went another way. I went into stand up and I was just like, you know, I just got to stay, you know, I plugged my head into another world.
Yeah, that's actually good that you're talking about that, because people, that is a big thing of, if you want to get help with addiction, you got to find something else to occupy, you know, your mind and stuff. And that's like probably the best advice you maybe can give somebody, is just find something else to occupy your time.
Yeah, and if something you love or you're passionate about, it makes a big difference.
I've seen a lot of people, like you said, go into fitness. That seems, that's a natural high.
It's natural high. You treat your body the right. Like my opener is like majoring in fitness, and which I didn't even know was a major, but you can major in exercise in school. I should have gone to college. I had no idea. And he's great to have around, because he's like, you know, every now and then he's like, you gotta rein it in a little bit, you know, which I don't always respond to. Well, like we were at the store yesterday and I got mad at him because I was like, we should get all this ice cream. Maybe Lil Xan will want ice cream. He's like, is that just an excuse for you to have more ice cream?
Yeah, for you to get ice cream?
Yeah, and I was like,
I do like ice cream though.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, should have got him some ice cream.
We have cookies and cream. Though.
Oh, yeah.
But so now, what are you're 24. Are there people from your life? Because you were not a guy that, when you were growing up, like me, I think people were probably like, this guy's not going to succeed.
Oh, I was the same way. They were the same way, dude.
If you saw me in my early 20s, I was drunk, coked out, driving a car with no insurance.
Oh, that's like me right now.
I mean, just bad. And my license has been suspended. It's still suspended.
Same.
I mean, I was just working in a subprime mortgage office, barely selling those.
Yeah,
fucking.
For me, it was I dropped out freshman year after attending 3 months of high school. I was like,
3 months of high school.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
3 months of high school.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
You gave it till Halloween.
Yeah, I did.
And then you were just like, fuck that shit.
Yo, the problem.
Whoa.
Yo, the problem was the people. I felt like I was trying too hard to like fit in, you know, be the cool kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I could tell that I was becoming like something I wasn't.
Right.
And I was just like, I can't do this. I like to play video games. So
right.
I dropped out, spent probably the majority of what would have been my high school experience playing video games, not talking to girls. I was a fucking, you know.
Were your parents like cool with that? Or
man, I mean, they weren't cool with it at first, but I think they realized pretty soon that they were like, oh, we can't tell him what to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're good parents, good supportive parents, but they would have liked that if I probably would have, went to school, but.
Finished ninth grade.
Finished ninth grade at least, right?
They were as supportive as it could be.
Yeah, supportive. As
like, all right, he gave it till Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Let's let him play some games.
And then I didn't really know what I wanted to be. I just knew that I just didn't need school for what I was gonna.
You just knew you weren't going the conventional route.
I wasn't going the conventional.
I knew that too.
And I
don't
don't encourage people to like go that route.
Yeah, we're not encouraging anyone.
Yeah.
Just in case our advertisers are wondering, we're not encouraging anybody to drop out.
Yeah.
When you were playing video games, were you just love rap? You loved music?
Oh, I've loved. Me and my dad used to just bump records on like vinyl and all that.
Who are the people that you love? Because I know that there's been much made of like you saying that like certain rap didn't speak to you, where it's like you know you respect guys like Tupac, but you were like those weren't my favorite guys, you know? And
yeah, I have so much respect for all that. Like I grew up on old school, I grew up on like Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, Big L. A lot of different things, I have mad respect for that.
I dated Foxy Brown for many years.
You did?
I'm kidding.
I was about to say, my God.
No,
that's so cool. Tell us more.
Right after she got out of the firm. No, so you were like into rap though. Who are your guys where you like when you heard that you're like I want to do this? Because for me it was like guys like Patrice O'Neal, and Bill Hicks or George Carlin or even like a Joan Rivers. Like when I heard people say shit where I was like fuck, I cannot believe they're saying that. I can't believe it's so funny. Who are your people in rap where you're like these are my fucking people?
It's so crazy because I didn't really know I wanted to pursue music until very far into actually. You know what I mean? But I just always loved music, and it's not necessarily just rap. I grew up on alternative rock, grunge, about Smashing Pumpkins, all that stuff, Nirvana. But I think around the time, when I started to make music, I started to really appreciate the craft and all that. And I was like, oh, this is something really special. And my love for music transitioned into a cool little career off of music.
Yeah.
Which is just super sick. But
what was the first time in your career that you knew things were going in a good direction? Like you were like, fuck, I'm actually, cause
probably around, that's hard, man.
Was there like one show? Was there one thing where you got out there and you're like, fuck, like I can do this for a living?
Well, I was like a supporting act for my friends and a lot of other different artists.
Who were they? Like, who are those people?
My friend Steven Cannon, who's still, he's on the rise, and just people really that aren't really known.
Right.
It was kind of I just love performing. It was for 10 people. It wasn't that crazy. So I think the first time in my career was when I dropped my record Betrayed on Cole Bennett's Lyrical Lemonade platform, great platform. And then it hit 1 million plays, and I wasn't used to a million anything.
On Spotify?
On YouTube. On
YouTube.
Yeah, on
wow,
YouTube.
okay.
I don't even think Spotify was really popping off. It was a thing, but it wasn't really popping off yet.
Yeah.
And then it hit 1 million views in an hour, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Wow, yeah, that's huge.
I'll never forget that feeling. It was like magic, you know what I mean? It's crazy, man. That was probably the first time.
What about, are there other people that you came up with where you're like, I owe that person a lot, that person kind of put me on?
We've definitely, I would say, no, you ever heard of the No Jumper people?
Course.
Yeah, they were early adopters of what I was doing. They were like, oh my God, there's a rapper named Lil Xan and stuff. And I think we made we made some t-shirts, and they probably sold 13 of those t-shirts. Yeah. But it was the first start, and it got me linked with Cole Bennett, and from there it just went crazy.
Are you like you when you were young, you were on the internet? Did you labeled up kind of quick, or were you like somebody who went indie for a while?
I was probably independent for a pretty good time in the beginning, but I had originally signed to Columbia Records right after the record went crazy. Betrayed was around the time Columbia. I feel like I was going to a label meeting every week. Yeah. And I landed on Columbia, but we had some differences. So we
What do you think about in general people that are making music now? Is it better to just stay indie?
Oh man, we were just having that conversation. Yeah. It's a weird time for music in general. The people that are shout out to anybody who's just blowing up right now, Ian Dior, Kid Laroi, man, they're going crazy. It's just a weird time because you can't do shows. So you know what I mean? It's weird because their Spotify numbers are going crazy, but it's you can't take a video of a sold out show, and you can't really understand the full grasp of what somebody's doing right now because we're limited to what we can do. But it's just a weird time.
So is it do you think it's good? Like, do the labels, are there good labels that help you? And then there are the labels that kind of,
the music industry, you need like if you want a certain thing, labels are definitely the way. I'm not against labels in any way. And I'm also not against like the independent route.
Right.
Because you can make a lot of money independently. Yeah. But what the labels bring to the table is they bring resources. And resources are probably the single-handedly like most important thing that you need. Like if you want editorial playlists on Spotify, you want to be on that big Spotify playlist, a label will get you that like nothing. Right. You don't even have to be a poppin' rapper or artist in general. You just have to have the label in it.
Are there people from your life that are like, fuck, like they looked at you and wrote you off and now you're like kind of, are there people like, Jesus Christ? Are there kids that their parents were like, don't hang out with Xan?
And now,
even that had, right?
Yeah,
and even still that. Probably some of them.
Well, they're still like, I was going to say,
parents are like,
we
mean it.
It's definitely people that wrote me off pretty early on. And, but you know, once you get a little bit of fame, a little bit of money, it's like they all come back. But there's still a pretty good amount of them that are still like, oh, fuck this kid.
Right,
you know what
right.
I mean? Because like if you come from like a small town like I did, you don't want to see nobody do well. You know, it's kind of fucked up, but it's like, I don't know, people hate on like that type of success.
Yeah, I mean, I think you did it too in a way that like, you know, a lot of people are probably like you dropped out of school, you started your music. Like that's a story of a lot of people. A lot of people don't succeed like that.
Yeah, if you don't want to go the more conventional route, as long as you know, chase what you want, like maybe a dream or, you know, like Steve Jobs, he dropped out. I think Bill Gates dropped out too, right? Yeah,
I think of you, Steve Jobs and Bill Gates in the same sentence.
Right?
I usually group you guys together
Bill Gates,
as
Steve
three
Jobs,
people that took an alternative route. When did you start going wild with the tats?
Oh, 18, I got my mom's name Candy tatted on my
Amazing.
And there was no type of success.
Because now they're pretty common, the face tattoos, but back then, there was nobody.
Back then, it was just a very select amount of people that were making SoundCloud rap, you know, Lil Peep, XXX, me, and it wasn't like trendy yet. But I saw it and I was like, oh, it looks cool. I thought it looked cool.
It looks cool, yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like, what can I get that my parents aren't gonna freak out? I'll just get my mom's name tatted.
Oh, yeah. So that was the first one.
Yeah, it was Candy. And people, they thought I got it because like eye candy. And I was like, no, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, it's kind of good though.
Yeah, but I got it so she wouldn't be that mad. She was still really fucking pissed.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, I guarantee she was still very angry.
She was still pissed. And she's like, well, now you have to do something crazy.
It almost put you in that box where you had to pop some other way.
Do something at
It's
that
hard
point.
to walk into a job interview with candy on your cheek.
Yeah, they're gonna be like,
and have a guy go, yeah, let's get him involved.
Yeah, he should be the regional manager.
Yeah, he should be the regional manager.
No.
Is it wild now when you look back at that kid who wanted to be a photographer and you're like that kid had no idea what was about to happen?
No fucking idea what was about to happen. Because like I said, I did music because I thought it was cool. All my friends did music. And then when it actually started working out, I was like, oh, man, this is crazy. Like, this actually happens. Like, nobody talks about that. Like, this actually can happen. You know, people always think about dreams and stuff, and it's just so far-fetched. It's a dream.
Yeah.
You know, but
for many people, it is far-fetched. I mean, you're talented. I mean, you forget there's a lot of people.
You.
And I appreciate how inspirational you are.
Oh, thank you, man.
That's not what I do. But I tell everyone, take that dream and because I know a lot of people who are just, they're literal dreams where they're waking up and not asking me for money or asking, their parents. But you have a fucking talent. You're good. You work. You write shit. I mean, that's a different story.
It just becomes, it is work now. But it just becomes easier and easier as you get. I guess you're getting better at it.
Right.
But I never think about it like that.
Are there people you don't keep in your life now because you're like, these are people who are not, good for me. They're not good, in terms of drugs or in terms of partying. Like,
oh, definitely
Are there a lot of hangers on and stuff?
Oh, when it first started off, it was crazy. Everybody wanted to come back in my life, or even family. Like a lot of family members, like outer family members, like not my mom or dad.
Right.
And it
just like outside.
Yeah, like all the Christmas parties.
I keep them away with a stick.
Right?
My family.
All the people I used to go to Christmas parties with, they're like, oh, yo, Diego, come over. And I'm like, man, I was the black sheep of the family.
Right.
Even like before everything. So I was like, oh, you guys are fucking assholes.
Right. Yeah.
Like now that, because I came up like really poor and stuff. So it was like.
So that's what I wanted to ask you about too. You grew up in Redlands, California, which is like is it's not Riverside. What county?
It's like right next to Riverside, right next to San Bernardino.
And you grew up. You were poor. You didn't have a lot.
Growing up, I was all right, but then we hit a time. You know, when
we hit a time.
Shit just hit the fucking.
Everybody's
fan.
hitting a time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was that like?
I was horrible. I was. My grandma had just passed, and she was like 99, so she was fucking old. And then we were relying on
that 99. That's like a Mexican legend,
right?
99 is
crazy. She
wild.
was trying to hit 100, but
the movie Coco is about her,
right?
What is the
but we were. What's that thing when you caretaker checks?
Yeah.
We were relying on that to pay the rent, and when she passed away, unfortunately, we couldn't get those checks anymore. Yo, rest in peace, Grandma. I love you. And then we were living in motels. Like that, it got that bad, like Super 8s and stuff like that.
Yeah, man.
Going back, and it's
in Cali still.
Yeah, in Cali, like Ukaipa right above, and that shit.
How old were you at that point?
I probably had just turned like 18, around 19.
So you're living in like in a 1-bedroom with your.
Oh yeah, it was so in cockroach infested. It was terrible, right. And that shit can get pretty expensive too.
Of course,
you pay weekly.
It's expensive to be poor in America. A lot of people don't realize that. It's a lot of money, man, to not have credit or to not have a lot of money, and then you're in and out of these hotels, and it's fucking
it got
brutal.
Really bad. But one thing
Do you have brothers or sisters, or just you?
Oh, just me. No, not just me. I have a half sister and a half brother.
Okay.
I see my sister occasionally, but my brother is actually in prison.
Oh wow.
For attempted murder.
Okay.
Yeah, but he gets out next year. Crazy.
Hey, he can try it again, and hopefully this time
that's what
he gets it done.
That's what I told him. I was like, hey, you can try it.
Listen, you can attempt it. You get right out.
You don't get it right the first time.
You get right back on the horse. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Now what?
No, you did.
Was he just mixed up in some bad stuff? Or?
Oh yeah, he's a great person. Just makes drugs and I'd like to believe he's changed now. So
yeah,
but that. You never know when you get out.
Was he in jail when you were blown up?
Yeah. Oh my God. So
that's amazing.
Yeah,
watching your little brother become a fucking star.
Yeah, he probably pissed him off too because he's like in there and he's like, oh fuck, I want to be out there.
Do you visit him?
I haven't. He's so far away. I haven't seen him in a long time. But
next year.
Yeah. When he gets out, I got a good situation for him.